Okay, we'll get started. We'd like to welcome Justin Thomas into the interview room, making his third career start at the Charles Schwab Challenge. Justin, congratulations coming off of your second major championship, your 15th PGA Tour victory. If we can just get you to take us back to Sunday and then also being here at Fort Worth.
Yeah, it was obviously a very, very fun and whirlwind of a weekend, I guess you could say. But, you know, we've been working really hard to try to get myself back in that situation, that scenario for a long time. And, yeah, the 5 years has felt like an eternity since Quail Hollow. And, yeah, I'm definitely glad that I can finally answer the question of when am I going to get my second versus, you know, just being a one-hit wonder, if you will. But I'm excited to be here. Obviously, the last couple of days have just been filled with rest and just trying to kind of recoup and get my mind and body back and ready to go come tomorrow morning. And, you know, had a nice early morning this morning, but I'll just relax this afternoon and be good to go tomorrow.
What is the key to keeping that motivation going into this week after such a huge win?
It's just putting it behind me. I mean, I obviously want to enjoy it, and I don't want to just act like it didn't happen because it did. But at the same time, I have a week, next week off, potentially to just enjoy it and have some times with my family and friends, you know, if we choose to. But I have a golf tournament this week, and I'm just trying to perform and play as well as I possibly can, and, you know, hopefully give us something else to celebrate.
And now going from Southern Hills here to Colonial, just talk a little bit about the challenges of this golf course.
Yeah, this course is right in front of you, very similar to last week in terms of off the tee. You know what you're getting, and you can play it hitting a lot of different clubs off of tees. You can play it very conservatively and put the ball in the fairway, kind of play to the dog legs, or you know, you can take a lot of drivers and kind of send it over some bunkers or over some dog legs and potentially make it a lot shorter. But playing from the fairway is very, very important here. I mean, the greens were very soft this morning with the rain last night and I guess into this morning. But, you know, with the wind that they potentially have forecasted, it can firm up by the weekend, which makes this place play pretty difficult.
Okay, let's go into questions. Questions for Justin?
It's going to be an easy one.
Yep, let's go to Kevin.
Hi, Justin. So last couple of days, when you weren't on the golf course or practicing golf, how'd you spend that time?
Well, we stayed in Tulsa Sunday night, so just kind of hung out. We didn't get home till pretty late. I was exhausted, and we came here Monday morning, just came in, got settled, had some lunch. They have a great gym facility set up here, so I came and worked out and just, you know, I feel like that's kind of, for me, it's a good, I don't know if I want to say reset, but just good to kind of sweat and get my body moving a little bit and then just kind of lounge. And then yesterday morning I just came out and practiced some and then just relaxed in the afternoon. I mean, I'm trying to just make my practice sessions this week short but very, very efficient so that I can just go back and rest and kind of, you know, catch back up on all that.
Okay. All right. Yep. Let's go to Dean.
Justin, first off, congratulations.
Thank you.
Wanted to ask, just in the last year with Jin, you having him on the bag, how has that, do you think, transformed your game and like how you've approached just, you know, each tournament day by day?
Yeah, he's been great. We're getting more and more comfortable every single week, and you know, he had a great moment there Saturday afternoon together when I got done, just kind of talking through some stuff and just you know, basically just putting me in a little better frame of mind. I think I'll be the first to admit I'm very, very hard on myself and too hard on myself at times, and it was good to have him there kind of as a reminder to just, you know, pretty much tell myself to kind of ease off and just relax kind of thing. Without saying it directly like that. So, you know, there's a lot of unbelievable caddies out there that bring a lot of different areas of expertise and help. And yeah, I mean, I feel like we've been a great team, and we've really enjoyed working together and kind of building toward you know, winning a lot of golf tournaments and winning majors. So it was nice to knock that off together.
Beyond that, is there one big thing he's taught you in the last year that stands out in your time working together?
I mean, nothing real particular. I mean, he's. I like that if you ask him a question, you know, he answers it. I think that it's. I mean, the caddy, I think, is the hardest job because they can't. A lot of times they can't win. If we ask them a question and they answer it, and then we listen to them, then they get berated. But then if they don't answer, and then afterwards they say, "Well, I was thinking that," and then they get berated again. It's like it's. Not necessarily by anybody, or everybody, but some players, and it's a tough job because they obviously see us play and are around us more than anybody, but you know, they get called in some very, very big situations and important moments in golf tournaments, and you know, that's why we hire them. As you know, I have trust in Bones to where if I ask him a question and he answers it, you know, he wants the best for me. He's not answering it to try to screw me up. He wants me to do the best that I can. So I think having that trust in him has been very important.
Okay. Justin, we had a question submitted. Can you compare and contrast the first PGA Championship victory to the second one?
Yeah, they're very different. I was much more so in contention starting the day at Quail Hollow. I mean, it was, I think, kind of going in the back nine, I was maybe like one or two back, and I think once I got to like 13 or 14, I had the lead. So I was playing with the lead, and I was trying to build it or maintain it versus coming from behind, obviously, and trying to chase a little bit more so. But, I mean, it's fun. When you have the opportunity to win and, you know, multiple times in different ways, you're able to learn from each experience. And I was able to learn from both of those in different ways that hopefully will help me more, you know, going down the road.
Chase is the operative word. I mean, you were 8 down at one point.
Yeah.
Can you comprehend that?
I can't. I just said that outside to Rex as I haven't had a chance to watch like the full coverage on Sunday, which I'd like to, but I did happen to see, you know, when I was putting on 9, I was 8 back. I was 8 back with 10 holes to go, and like that's unfathomable. And if I was looking at leaderboards, I probably would not have even thought that I had a chance to win, you know, and that's a huge learning lesson for me. And just you got to play golf. And I mean, those majors and in golf tournaments, anything can happen. And, you know, I just kind of kept plugging along, and somehow it happened.
All right, let's take a couple more. Back to Kevin.
Yeah, one more. Justin, is there something you prefer about or enjoy about an older golf course like this that you can't get at a big modern course, say at Craig Ranch?
Yeah, it just puts a premium on ball striking and playing good golf. I don't necessarily. I just like the old school designs because, I mean, this place is a good example of you don't need length to make a golf course hard, and I think that's what so many architects and people think nowadays is a golf course has to be 8,000 yards for us to, you know, shoot 10 under for the week versus, you know, you step up on number 9 out here and it's might be 400 yards, but you look at that fairway and it looks like you're hitting to one of these tables. And if you miss the fairway, then you're grinding or trying to figure out how to make par. But then if you hit a good drive, you're rewarded and you have a wedge and have a birdie opportunity. So I like the opportunity to play holes different ways, just putting a premium on hitting the ball in the fairway, putting a premium on just having control of your ball and understanding where you can miss it, where you can't miss it. Because I think a lot of places nowadays it's just kind of, you know, bomb it, send it as far as you can, and just get it somewhere around the green. And the greens are so big that you can usually get up and down. Versus a place like here, they're so small. You know, have some very subtle undulation that you just have to be smart around here.
All right, let's take the last ones from Rex and Andrew.
Justin, real quick, you had a moment off the side of the green with your dad right before the trophy ceremony. What were you guys kind of talking about, or whatever? Just what were you thinking about your grandfather a little bit there?
Not necessarily. I I just was kind of taking it all in. I didn't say anything. I think my dad was kind of talking, but it just was. It was just a lot, you know. I've really. When you're on a roll and you're playing really well and you're fortunate enough to, you know, have 3, 4, 5 win seasons, I think you sometimes can take it for granted and just forget how incredibly hard it is to win out here. And I mean, I feel like I've been playing some of the best golf of my career the last year, and I've literally had nothing to show for it. I had no wins, and it just was like, man, like, it's hard to win out here, and you just don't know when it's going to happen again. And it just was like, for it to happen at the biggest stage at a major, to win my second one, my family there, I just was kind of taking it in and just like couldn't kind of believe that it happened, and was I guess just it was I don't know, I guess obviously I was just happy, you know. I was just really, really happy and kind of enjoying the moment, I guess.
All right, last question from Rex.
Justin, there's still a lot of talk about last week in the bunkers and the idea that it's being a hazard versus it's being something that you guys are so good at getting up and down on. Do you have any thoughts on kind of comparing what you had last week to what you have week in and week out on the tour?
It is a good question, and it's the bunkers last week were bizarre. I mean, they're very unique. I would say that the most annoying part about them was just the amount of pebbles on the green and the rocks on the greens. I mean, it was so. They were literally everywhere, and it just was. It just took forever to clean your line, and then obviously made play a little bit slower. But it just was, and it's not like they were small enough where you couldn't move them. I mean, if your ball hit a rock, it was going to bounce offline or bounce up in the air. So that was the hardest part. But I definitely go back and forth when I think about it, because it is a hazard or penalty. I don't know what do you call it anymore, but. So, yeah, you know, you get to a place like this with perfect bunkers, and there's often times where if we hit in the rough, you're just like, all right, just try to hit it up in that greenside bunker. It's an easy up and down versus, last week you didn't know. I mean, some of them were soft, some of them were firm. Some of them had just absolutely no sand, and if you were in there and they had good amount of sand with the rocks and you were short-sided, you couldn't necessarily spin it. And, I mean, I just tried to look at it as it was kind of the same thing as an opportunity, and just everybody had to deal with it, so there's no reason to complain about it. And I think that mindset helped me. I mean, I went 5 for 5 on Sunday out of them, so you know, I wouldn't have been able to win if it wasn't for that.
All right, Justin, we appreciate your time. Best of luck this week.
Thanks.